Hi, everybody.
Hey, garden friends.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to be having an amazing conversation today because I feel like everybody has issues with pests. So I think this is something that we can just dive right in. And I think that everybody will have hopefully some benefit to this.
Yes, I
So,
mean, I know I've definitely learned from you, Carrie, and I know that there's definitely a lot of people who are in my position and that I was about a couple years ago. So I'm excited to jump into this.
yeah, it should be good. Well, let me introduce ourselves before we get too far into this. My name is Carrie. My husband Dale and I are the creators of the Seed to Spoon app that hopefully all of you have. If you don't, there's a QR code up there in the corner to download it. So check it out. Um, but we started growing our own food back in 2015 and had just a standard, Oklahoma backyard because we're in Oklahoma. And here, I'll pull up the picture here real quick. Um, Maybe there it is. And so we went from having just, you can see we started the process over there. We had a couple 4x4 raised beds that we were working towards doing. And we just quickly became obsessed. And it was our first time ever growing. And we had so many things to learn and all of that. And we turned our entire yard over into gardens, as you can see right here. Um, so neither one of us had ever done much gardening at all. I mean, the most that I had done before was simply like buy some flower transplants and put them in my front garden. But that was really about it. So there was a lot to learn along the way. And so I know exactly, like, if you're a beginner, I know how it feels. And everybody has to start somewhere, right? I mean, yeah. So, and then I am lucky today to be joined with Edvin from Smart Pots.
Yeah, hey, garden friends. Smart Pot Edvin here. If you guys don't know a little bit about Smart Pots, we are the original fabric growing container. We're actually made right here in Oklahoma City. About 20-30 minutes from Carrie's garden is Smart Pot World headquarters, where we manufacture all of, oh, it's not going to work. Where we manufacture all of, oh, here we go, all of these here, which are fabric garden planters. And Dale and Carrie have used these in their garden since about 2016, and they actually still have a lot of the original ones that they've used before, and still going strong. So we've got a series coming out where we're going to be switching those old ones out for new ones. They're great for beginners. I was a beginner gardener myself just not too long ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. I learned a lot. Thankfully, there's people like Dale and Carrie that are out here pretty much almost every day helping beginner gardeners and even seasoned gardeners. I'm still learning every single day. We just got back from an industry trade show, Cultivate, which a lot of you joined us last week on that live stream.
That was a fun one.
So yes, if you haven't watched that, definitely go back and rewatch it. There are some of the coolest and most interesting and colorful plants. Some of them that you won't even see for years to come, and a lot of them are some that Geo Perkins Park Seed will actually end up stocking on their website, like the kitchen minis, which are some of Carrie and I's personal favorite. Those
Love
grow
those
great in a
things.
1 gallon. I actually did end up bringing home a bonsai basil, and it's in
Nice.
the other room. So I definitely, if I get some chance to cut out and show you guys, I did bring it into the airport, and I actually did not get stopped by TSA this time. So I was very. And I think it was because there was like a family in front of me, and they had looked like they had some questionable things. So I don't know if they just let me go to save time, but yeah, brought it through it. It was my carry-on, and it sat, right with me, and so yeah, excited for this stream.
I love it. Yeah, I think, like, I try to do these pest streams often because honestly, I feel like out of everything that can go wrong in your garden, pests are probably it's the biggest thing, right? Like, it's something that everybody deals with, regardless of how long you've grown before, you're always going to see new things too, or come up with new tricks. So that's why I love doing these live streams, because you guys share some of your guys' tips in the comments, and I learn new things and we all learn new things. So I think it's really fun. So, welcome everybody. If you are new here too, pop into the chat, introduce yourselves, and every time you do come in and comment into the chat, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook, it all comes over to us, and we enter you in to win a free 1 year premium Seed to Spoon app subscription and Smart Pot. So, woo!
Also, Carrie, have something actually special for the giveaway.
Oh,
And I don't know
okay.
if it's going to show up here. Oh, a little bit. So at the trade show this year, the Smart Pot people here, and including myself, that were at the show, we wore this special Smart Pot blanket, or I'm sorry, apron, not blanket. Smart Pot logo blanket. It actually has some very deep pockets, and so it's great for gardening. So whoever wins the giveaway this time around will actually get one of those aprons, and also a 3 pack of blue 15-gallon planters. Now this is
Nice.
exclusive product. This is not available yet. The 3 pack in blue. I know it's kind of glitching, so we'll get a better picture of that. But yep, whoever wins and take 3 of those 15-gallon planters, which are
Love
perfect
it.
for growing just about anything. I know I just reposted one of your videos. You have a, what is it, a sugar baby cantaloupe?
Yeah, it's the sugar cube. Yeah, the sugar cube
Yes.
cantaloupe and the growing vertically. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
that's amazing. So you can grow that, tomatoes, vegetables, herbs. So yeah, make sure you're commenting, asking questions, because the more you comment, the more chances you have to win.
it. Yep, absolutely. Okay, let's pop over. Nope, wrong one. Wee. Okay, let's make not me big. There we go. Okay. Uh-oh. Sorry, I'm getting like pop-ups. Okay, there we go. I think we're good now. I'm not the technological person, as you can see. Um, yes. So here we go. I already mentioned the giveaway. So one lucky person is going to be having a bunch of SmartPot stuff. That's exciting. Oh, I love it. And then a 1 year premium Seed to Spoon app subscription. So woo.
That's right in time, honestly, for spring or for fall, ordering those fall seeds. I mean, that free
Yes.
shipping, that lucky person's gonna be in trouble. I mean, with that free shipping, good luck.
I know I have an order that I'm working on right now for fall, because it, believe it or not, it is time to start thinking about fall and planning ahead. So like I'm working on trying to get a list together of everything that I want to grow this fall, and yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just
I know
got
it's
back,
so
Carrie,
busy.
this weekend from San Antonio, which is, I mean, if we're growing zone 8, I think there's zone 8, I believe. And I can see how it can be kind of deceiving for some gardeners. I mean, especially in those areas. I mean, it's like 110 degrees. I think the last thing they want to think about is fall gardening. But yes, it's definitely the time to start thinking and planning. And, just get that one step ahead. And then that way you have a much more successful season in the fall.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, nice. Paige says she loves the app and the free shipping. Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
Carol has a
Penny's,
great
Penny's
question.
trying
Oh,
to
I'm
grow the
sorry.
sugar cube too. Nice.
I saw somebody, I think another person is growing the sugar cube. They said they had Harry actually said he's grew the sugar cube and they're growing awesome.
That's great. So Charlotte was asking, can you win even if you've won in the past? Absolutely. Yes. I actually have somebody, I don't even know who, but I keep it logged on my phone. So I have somebody that was already on a year, and then I have it set to give them a year and then a year. It's like, yeah, you can stack them up and get how many ever years you want. It's almost like a lifetime, right?
Hey, Carol had this question. Is there a kitchen mini cucumber? And I know for a fact there is because at the Cultivate show, they actually let us borrow one and we had one in our booth and it had huge, huge cucumbers for like it was probably like a 1 gallon plant. And they had like small wooden trellises, so there's definitely kitchen mini cucumbers, so check those out. They look amazing.
Yeah, yeah. If you go in the app under shop, let's see if I can. I don't know the best way to show all of us and the app. That's probably the best right there. Um, yeah. So if you just type in Kitchen Mini, or you can pop up here to the shop section and type in Kitchen Mini, and like all of the mini things will pop up for you too. But let's see. I know that there's a there's a mini me. I know for a fact there's one in there. I'm gonna have to find it though. So yeah, I'll have to dig later. I will send it out. Okay. Desiree says the kitchen mini's gonna get me in trouble this year. Well, I have a bunch of them growing back here on my on the ledge of my windowsill, and it works so good. I've been having a bunch of tomatoes and peppers even in the middle of winter too. This last year, it was so great. I loved it. So yes, you definitely want to try it out, and it is easy to get addicted because I have so many of them growing.
I mean, they're honestly a great way to kind of have harvests year round. I mean, it's very,
Yes.
very hot. I mean, it's 90 degrees right now, which is on the cooler side, I would say. But I mean, right now, it's super hot. I mean, and it comes with some climates. You have that inside. Carrie has just like a small grow light hanging on them, and they're
Mhm.
literally bred to fruit in the small containers indoors. So even if you're a beginner gardener or somebody who is intimidated with gardening, there's just a super easy way to get started. A 1 gallon, you can get in a small bag of soil, fill up a 1 gallon smart pot, and I mean they're super super fun and super easy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so let's dig into pests. So as we go through, feel free to pop any sort of questions that you guys have in the chat. And if I don't pull it up right away, I am gonna try to star things if I know it's coming up soon or anything like that too. Um, okay, so I wanted to start with. So I know we actually did some of these. Sorry, I got distracted. Harry says super hot. Oh man, 118. Whew. Yeah, it is not super hot here, but it feels like it for us at
I mean,
least.
it feels like an oven out there. I'm not gonna lie.
So I get distracted easily, so don't mind me. Anyways, I wanted to start with some of with Japanese beetles too, because I get a lot of questions about Japanese beetles, especially this time of year. I feel like they are just like out in force. And it's pretty easy to tell if you have any Japanese beetle issues because your leaves, like you'll notice them start to look like lacy. Like you can kind of see those holes in that picture right there that I have. And if you are noticing that, there's several things that you can do. First of all, I do want to mention I made a video this past week and posted it, all about like the top 5 companion plants to be growing with it to try to help either repel them or attract them. So it's kind of like a trap plant, or as I mean toxic as well too, which is kind of fun. Which actually I feel like works the best. But I will highly recommend doing companion planting whenever is possible, and especially for Japanese beetles. It works so well. They especially for 4 o'clocks. Those are probably one of my favorites for Japanese beetles because they are toxic for them, and so they'll go over there and they'll munch on them overnight, and then it like paralyzes them. So it's 4 o'clocks, geraniums. Those ones are really good too. If you want to try to repel them, also, things like garlic, anything with like a strong scent is going to really help to repel them away from where you are.
You know,
Um,
Okay, I want to add a quick note on companion planting because when I heard companion planting in the past, when I was very, very new at this,
mhm.
I kind of assumed that you had to grow the garlic or like I know an onion's another great one to companion plant. I kind of assumed you had to like grow it, and grow it to maturity. But I soon found out, I mean, if you just sprinkle garlic or onion seeds just throughout your raised beds, for example, in my setup. And as long as they sprout, I mean, just that alone, provides the aroma, and it will do a pretty good job at keeping the pests away. So you don't necessarily have to, fertilize specifically for these for the companion plants. It's just as long as you sprinkle them around your garden and have them there. Generally, for the most part, I've seen as my experience that that'll usually do a pretty good job at repelling them. Um, so just a quick note
Yeah.
for everybody.
You know what? You brought up a good point here too, because I did want to mention that you can make like a garlic spray even. Like it's so you don't even
Oh,
have to grow it if you don't have it. Like just have a spray bottle, put in like some minced garlic that you can just buy from the store, and as long as just that scent is around in that area, it's going to repel so many pests, not just Japanese beetles, but like garlic works for so many things. So yeah, that's definitely something to remember as well. So yes. Also, it is time to be doing milky spore too. So, and whenever it hits fall time, especially if I have any sort of issues with Japanese beetles, I'm gonna go out there. It's just like this powder that you just lay down into the soil, and let's see if I can pull up milky spore so you can kind of see it here real quick. Um, spore. Yeah, so this stuff right here is really, really good at helping keep these under control. You typically will lay it down in the fall time. And then while they are down in the soil overwintering, like that's when they're going to help you. So that's definitely something to consider doing as well. Um, I see a lot of onion skins. There's not quite as much scent in an onion skin as there is in like the center of it. So it may not work quite as well, but definitely give it a try for sure. I mean, I'm sure if you're like me, you have a bunch of onion skins laying around. Um, yes. Yeah, four o'clocks. I love growing four o'clocks too. They're so beautiful. They're one of the first flowers actually that I would grow a lot of because I just loved how they looked. And when I discovered that they were harmful for Japanese beetles, I was like, yes, give me all of the four o'clocks because I do not like Japanese beetles. They are horrible. Okay. I think we covered Japanese beetles good. Do you have anything else, Edvin?
I do not.
Okay. Let's
These guys, on
go.
the other hand, though, I hate. I had never. I don't think I've ever experienced earwigs until I moved to Oklahoma. And then I was like, yeah, those things are crazy because they just multiply and they're like everywhere. I mean, you can like lift up, like, I mean, like just like a moist mat, in the early in the morning, and there's like a million of them. And they're just, yeah,
Mhm.
they're just like looking at them are just nasty.
Yes. So the reason why I was like, I need to include earwigs is because I had gotten comments actually about earwigs on that last video that I posted about Japanese beetles. They were saying, what about earwigs? I have a huge earwig problem. I was like, okay, I got to make sure we talk about earwigs today too. So, and I'll make a video too about these this week. So be on the lookout. But earwigs aren't necessarily a pest, too, but they can become a pest if there's not enough food for them or if they start to go around. I mean, typically they're just really good at decomposing things. Like they're really good for your soil or in breaking down soil. And if you have like fruit that's fallen off and it's on the ground, they go after that. But if they don't have enough of those things, then you can have an issue. And like Edvin said, they multiply so fast too. So it is easy to get overwhelmed with earwigs, whether they be beneficial or not, but they can definitely take out like some like fruit, especially things like strawberries or tomatoes, like things that are a little bit softer, especially seedlings as well too. They can go after those. So it's kind of, I mean, good and bad to have them really. So it's just kind of important to keep them under check. So have kind of a balance in your garden. Um, And now it's kind of funny what Edvin said earlier too, was because that is actually my favorite method of handling earwigs is by, so it used to be like laying down newspaper, but we don't get a newspaper anymore. I mean, I don't know if anybody does. That's great. You have the perfect solution, but I don't
I
have.
think it's like a special delivery type of thing nowadays where it's
I
like,
know, I
yeah.
know. I was like, who gets a newspaper anymore? It's kind of funny, but I'm maybe somebody out there does. But newspapers, if you lay that down, or if you have junk mail, I mean that's what I tend to do, or cardboard, things like that, and moisten it. Put that down overnight, and then come look underneath it in the morning, and you're gonna have so many earwigs underneath it, and then that's when you can handle them. Usually they'll be like on the bottom of the cardboard or on the bottom of the junk mail that you laid down out there, and you can just fold it up and toss it. So it kind of helps to just keep them under control and not let your population get too high. You know what I
Yeah, and
mean?
then also to that point, that can also work against you if you're not purposely doing this as a trap. If you're somebody who has a lot of, if you yourself think that, hey, I just have way too many bugs roaming around my garden, I don't know what's going on. Um, I would definitely recommend going around your yard, your garden, and just finding any sitting water, or maybe right after it rains, try to find if there's any puddles that form. Um, Usually the bugs will come from, I mean, like somebody just mentioned, the rain, they're saying the rain is, they feel like it's causing more earwigs. The moisture is, where they love to, breed and produce and live.
Mhm.
So if you wanna, control the limit of how many bugs you have in your garden, I definitely recommend go around and try to get rid of any standing water that you may have. That'll definitely help, and that'll also help with the mosquitoes. I know we have a huge problem this personally in our yard with mosquitoes. We have a drainage problem when the rain comes, so our yard stays moist for like a good 2 3 days. And also we have some trees, so that doesn't help with the evaporation. So I mean, after a rain, you go out there and you just get eaten up. So that'll definitely help. There's also some I don't know if you've seen those, Carrie. They like mosquito some little plugs that you drop into if you have
Oh,
standing
the
water that you
BT
can't get rid of.
dunks. Yes.
Yes, so you
Yes,
just
I
don't
use
put.
those all the time.
Yes, if you have tubs of water or just like just water that you can't get rid of, throw one of those in there and I think it'll prevent the larva from hatching or something.
Hmm.
So definitely water sitting if you're not, using it as a trap can also be a breeding pool for more pests.
Yes, yes, unfortunately. And Charity was asking, are they prone to just certain areas? So, and then, yes, they love dark places, anywhere where they can be hidden. They usually do go into darker locations underneath things. If there's a lot of weeds, I mean, they can hide in that, or just a lot of plants too. And then I did want to bring this up too. This is a really good point that earwigs are really good for compost. So yes, they do have a very good like purpose for a lot of things. So they are very helpful with breaking down soil, with helping break down your compost faster. Like they are super helpful for things like that. So they do have a purpose. So yeah. Okay. Let's see. And then tomato hornworms. Okay, so there are a few that I know I mentioned tomato hornworms last month, and but it's just something that we're still dealing with. I'm sure all of you all have seen these before. If you haven't, you are very lucky. These are can really hide, believe it or not, with how large they are. They're like huge. I know pictures can be deceiving, but this is a huge caterpillar. It is, and it looks intimidating because it has that little, like, what looks like a sword on the end of it. And it looks like it's going to get you. Oh man, it's scary. It's terrifying to me, even though I know it's harmless. It's terrifying to me. But I like this. Yeah, get that off the screen. I know. We don't want the tomato hornworm anywhere near. But seriously, they can just decimate a tomato plant in like a day. I feel like I can go out and go walk around the garden, everything looks amazing, and then I come out the next day and I'm like, what happened to all of my leaves? It happens so fast, like really, really fast. Um, I like this. Charity was saying she found her first one and almost had a panic attack. I almost touched it. Made my husband get it. Yes. I feel you. Even though I know it's harmful or not it's harmless. I still I can't touch it barehanded. I have to get on gloves too, and I'm like, whereas like I usually like I'm fine with bugs and critters usually, but oh man, the hornworm really like it really gets me. Um, but yes, great point here, which is something that I was going to talk about. So Evelyn beat me to it. Good job, Evelyn. She's got this. Found that basil and marigolds help to keep hornworms away. Yes. So if you've ever heard of the best companion plants with tomatoes, I mean, I pretty much every single time I have a tomato out there, I put a bunch of basil next to it and marigold, and it works wonders. So fingers crossed for me. Yes, Evelyn's doing great companion planting. There we go. Everybody take notes. There you go.
We can all learn
um,
something from her.
I know. One other thing I want to point out. So here, let me pull it up. Um, let's see if I can find it just by typing BT. So there's a spray. Oh, I don't know why it's not. Maybe my internet's not working great. Well, it's not letting me search anymore. Let me go back in. BT.
Yeah, I had a lot of people in here saying that basil and marigold would work great, and marigold's one of my favorite companion plantings, so that could honestly be why I don't really see too many of them. When I
Yes.
did though, we had a small chicken coop, and chickens, I mean, it's like a golden snack for them.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Whenever I grab them, I always take them right to my chickens because I have a chicken coop, and they are just always so happy about it, and they always fight over it. It's kind of funny. Okay, so this right here, this is a BT spray, which is for caterpillar control. This works really well for tomato hornworms as well. So if you do see an issue, you can spray just your tomato plant that's having issues. Now I do use it sparingly because it will hurt caterpillars, but it's only caterpillars. It's not going to hurt anything besides that. But and typically like butterflies and all that are not on your tomato plants. So I don't just go like spray this everywhere in the garden. If I do have an issue, I'm going to spray it just on the like tomato plant itself. So it's one of those organic methods that you can do, that you can spray. But yeah, I wanted to let y'all know about that one too. Okay. So yeah.
Somebody had a question going back real quick to the garlic spray, if it can be used on all plants.
I believe so. Here, I know who will know for sure if there's any plant that you can't spray a garlic spray on. Let's ask Robot. Can I spray a garlic spray on all my plants? Okay. Well, it's not going to give me specific ones. Just double check, it says. So some plants are more sensitive, like with sensitive foliage, they might react a little bit differently. So see how it does first with a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more generous. But I've never had any issues with spraying garlic. I mean, yeah, garlic's always something that's super amazing. Oh, Leslie has a good time. Speaking of garlic, she says, what is the best time to plant garlic? So I always plant garlic in the fall. So for me, here, let's pull up garlic, see when my dates are, because I need to know when garlic is too. So for me, I'm going to be doing it. Oh my goodness, it's coming up soon. September. I need to go order some garlic. But you can plant it. Like I usually plant it in the fall time. As long as your ground is workable, you can still plant it, which is, I mean, it's great. And I always recommend getting them in the fall because it's one of those plants that it needs to freeze in order to give you a really good harvest in the spring. So if you plant it in the fall, I mean, you can let it grow for a little bit in the fall. It'll still grow a little bit. And then over the winter, it'll die off on the top. I mean, sometimes it's still going good for me, but I'm in zone 7. And then in the springtime, it'll take off and it'll do really well.
Yeah, and also another good point. I mean, garlic, I feel like is one of those where like nobody, it's like I don't know what happens like one day from the next, everybody's like, oh, we need to start ordering garlic, and majority of places sell out. So if
Yes,
this is one of those where if you're thinking about growing garlic, definitely look for the varieties you're looking for that would work best in your area. And I would definitely recommend getting those ordered because those, along with like starter seeds, starter potatoes, they're
they
usually
do
gone pretty quick.
go out
Yeah.
fast. Yeah. And there's some really cool varieties at Park Seed. Like they have a purple garlic. I know I always bring up all the purple varieties, but they have so many like different unique varieties that are really good. I really like there's like a red one too. Like I just really like all of the unique varieties. And the elephant garlic, can't forget about that. But yes, so many unique varieties. And what's great too about like Park Seed is that they will wait to ship it out until it's the time frame for your zone is open. So that way it's not just sitting around somewhere and and you lose it, but
Yeah.
they're storing it and keeping it all good, and then they'll ship it out to you whenever it is time to plant. How long do garlic cloves last? I have some leftover from last year. Will they be good? Um, I don't know the exact dates, like how long it would last. Grobot would. We can ask Grobot real quick. But I mean, I have done this before, so I would say as long as it's been like hasn't been stored like outside or like in your garage or something, and it's been being kept in a cool area, then it should be okay. I would imagine. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
honestly,
mean, I've heard as women with with good storage. I mean, they can go for a very, very long time.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of my method too. I'm always like, I'll just put it out there and see if it does. Okay, squash bugs. um, yes, so this is definitely one that again, I know we talked about it last month, but squash bugs and the next one deal with squashes, and it is something that again, if you are growing squash, I'm sure you are battling these right now. They are they are vicious and one of my worst nemesis out in the garden for sure. So the biggest way to keep these under control is trying to keep them from becoming a problem, which is easier said than done. But if you go and walk around your garden every day or every other day, try to look underneath your leaves, and that is where you will find issues. So these are pictures here from my garden right here. So you can see that little patch of eggs in the corner of that leaf. That's very common, and you will see those on the underneath of your squash plants. And at that time, they're actually pretty easy to get rid of. I mean, you can honestly just use your finger and rub that off. Or I typically go around with a with a lint brush roller, and I will just try to go like this and take them off. And I do that for these little middle ones too. So when they first hatch out, they're like these little tiny creepy looking things. But I still I use the lint brush roller, and I will just take those little babies right up, and then they're stuck on my lint brush roller. So it works amazing. At that stage, you can still be doing things like neem oil sprays and all of that. But keep in mind too, with neem oil, you do need to be careful when you use it because it could suffocate your plant if the temperatures are too high. So generally, if it is over like 90 degrees, I stay away from any sort of spray that's going to hit like the top of the leaves or anything like that. Um, but if the temperatures are down below that, or if it's evening time too, that'll help. And you can spray it on those. Now, once they get to the adult squash bugs, there's not a whole lot you can do, unfortunately, besides hand picking them. And that's when you get your glove on and you just start grabbing. And I usually have like a bucket of soapy water whenever I'm doing this, and I just start tossing them into that bucket. And yeah, it's not a fun thing, but that's really one of the best things. Okay, so Charity says, I've companion planted and sprayed and foiled all the things. They're ridiculous and relentless. I know. I'm so sorry. They definitely are. I've lost the battle on one of my plants. So I need to go out there and pull it because it's like, it's gone, but not from squash bugs. It's from the squash vine borer. But um, yeah, it's definitely rough. So yeah, those are some tips right there. Oh, and using companion planting will really help too. So things like nasturtium really help. Mint is another one of my favorite companions for squash bugs in particular. If you put it in a container and put it next to your squash plant, it'll really, really help. That's definitely something that I highly recommend trying because the years that I have that, it goes so much better for me. And then squash vine borer, I feel like these two kind of go hand in hand too, because this is one. Charlotte says that she thinks the internet went out. Hopefully it's not you, but hopefully that it's still we're still on and you still hear us. But let me know if not. But I'll just keep talking. So squash vine borers. So these are a almost like a hornet looking bug that goes and lays eggs essentially. I mean, like they're laying these caterpillars down in their the stem of the squash, and it turns really gross and mushy because these caterpillars are like really just um eating from the inside out, and it's really gross. As you can see, very squishy and just yes. So that's what she was talking about too with the foil, because that's one of the methods that can really help. Also, is if at the base of the plant, if you wrap it up with a little bit of foil, it makes it so the squash vine borer can't go in and bore into the stem of your plant. So it really helps right there. Um, and then I saw somebody said something that they did surgery on a plant. So that's great. Yeah. So if they are not too far gone, like in this picture right here, unfortunately, it was definitely too far gone there. But if you catch it before it gets too bad, because you can start to see that there's an issue, like your plant will start to wilt, and at the base, you'll start to see a little bit of like this coming out of the stem. So if you make a little incision on there, you can open it up and grab out some of those and try to put it back together, put some compost on it. Other things that you can do, I've heard people doing injections into the stem of their squash with BT with the BT that I showed you earlier. So yeah,
It
it's
definitely
definitely.
looks like something straight out of like Men in Black, honestly.
Oh my gosh, it is the worst. I hate them. Yeah. Yes. Aluminum foil for sure. So definitely, if you're having issues, definitely wrap the base with some aluminum foil. Um, yes. Oh, that's terrific. Good job. Woo. Way to perform surgery. My husband always jokes because like I was a nurse before, and he was like, "Well, there you are. You're just continuing with nursing."
Continuing the practice.
Yes. Um, yes. So the BT was over. Let's see. Easy way for me to find it was under critters. So I found it under tomato hornworms, but you can also just go to the shop and right there. It's right there. BT spray. But also up here, I think it was B. That's why I wasn't finding it, was because it was B period T period. So there you go. There it is. Okay. Okay, on to another very pretty pest. You see, whenever I first saw this, I took this picture and I was like, this is the prettiest bug I've ever seen. What is it? And this was a couple years back, and I was like, oh no, it is not a good one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think
Um,
I've seen this one before, I mean, and if I have, then I thought the same thing as you.
Yeah, well, they're very tiny. They're very small, so you won't necessarily see them, but they are something that you need to watch out for because they can go through and spread diseases. So it's a very similar damage to like the cucumber beetle. You know how it the main issues are when they will go through and like spread diseases between the plants. So what I try to do for these, same as cucumber beetles, I guess I should have put them together, is to hang those yellow sticky traps. And again, I should have had a picture of these, I guess, too, but I can pull them up right here. Well, of course, it's gonna yellow sticky. So these right here. I put these, like, I just hang these next to them because usually where they are is near a trellis, anyways, is where I'm seeing them. So it's like next to my cucumbers or next to anywhere. I have a lot of trellises. So I hang these on my trellises. And if I'm having any sort of issues with any cucumber beetles or these leaf hoppers, and it works really good for them as well. Um, Also, companion planting, especially, I wanted to call out calendula, works really good for leafhoppers. So I love calendula because it is a beautiful flower, but it is great at also companion planting for a lot of different pests. So yeah, I wanted to call out calendula because it is one of my favorites and it is absolutely beautiful. So that can really help you too. Okay. You see, I actually, I guess I did think ahead, and I put cucumber beetles right there with the leaf hoppers because I was like, it's pretty much the same solutions. Um, Except I do want to call out that radish is really good for cucumber beetles as well. And also wanted to call out the fact that we made our own like DIY traps too for cucumber beetles, which are kind of interesting too. So I know a lot of people are always really concerned with planting these with these yellow sticky traps out because of like the pollinators or um, oh yeah, like right here, any honeybees or things like that. Um, I have personally never had any issues with any pollinators getting stuck in them or ladybugs, even, or anything like that. And I've used them, I mean, for a very, very long time. So, pretty much since the beginning, but I haven't ever had any issues really at all with it. The only like officially beneficial plant has been flies that I found on there. But again, like I feel like the world is fine if I catch some flies. So that's the
Yeah.
only real one that I've had issues with. But if you're worried about that, you could try this. This is a little bit better for things like that. So this was really just a solo cup. The inside of it, we used that. It's like Tangle glue. like tanglefoot glue. If you can search that on like Amazon or anything like that. And we did like some essential oil on the inside too. We even got real fancy one time and put a picture of our picture. We took one of our leaves or flowers, one of the yellow flowers, and put it on there too. So it really can help to attract them. And yeah, yeah,
Yep, and we use them inside. If you have, I know somebody said, or do they work for white flies? I mean, they definitely do. If you're somebody who likes who has any house plants, and then sometimes these bugs come inside of the soil, depending on what
mhm,
soil, back soil you get. And once they're in your house, they're kind of hard to get rid of.
yeah.
But yeah, definitely a couple of these, and you can find these almost anywhere. And for the most part, they all work the same. They're literally just a yellow sheet with glue on there. So yep, if you're a home gardener and you have house plants inside or kitchen minis indoors, they definitely work for indoors as well.
Yeah, I will say it's kind of funny that you say that because I have my seed starting section, like a seed starting station, like right here, and I do have a yellow sticky trap sitting right on top over here too, as well as some neem oil spray. So I will recommend that too if you're indoors and you have any sort of issues, like you said, with white flies or anything like that. Like neem oil spray will work really well for that too, and you're indoors, so you don't have to worry about the heat or anything like that too.
Yeah, Desiree earlier was saying that her husband is setting up a garage with counter space this summer. Um, Definitely
Great.
probably try and maybe invest in some of these just as a proactive, you're starting a brand new area. You don't know what is, hiding or what might come out. So these are a nice one that you don't have to spray anything and they kind of just sit there in the area, waiting for something to come by. So definitely check those out, Desiree.
Yeah, for sure. And then aphids, of course, we have to always talk about aphids because, again, whether you are indoors or outdoors, aphids is just something that I think everybody has dealt with or will deal with at some point. And you don't necessarily see them because they are so teeny tiny. As you can see, like on this picture right here, you can see the difference between the ladybug, which is, I mean, pretty small itself, and how small those aphids are right next to it. But the ladybug there is going through and eating all of those aphids for us. So super helpful for us. Thank you, lady. Um, the best thing I can tell you for aphids is to, first of all, try to bring in any sort of ladybugs, lacewings, anything like that that can help you with the battle so you don't have to do it. So attract in those aphids, oh my gosh, ladybugs. Um, Things that attract ladybugs, I mean, marigolds are amazing at it. And fennel is really good. Parsley, cilantro, even if you let it like go in, like all of those things are just amazing at attracting them in. And I know a lot of people will talk about too. They ask if you can buy them, and you can. We've done it before in the past. Just if you do buy them, make sure that you release it like whenever it's starting to get dark, so it's not they don't just fly away. And also just make sure you release them right next to an area that actually has aphid problems, so they have food right there to eat and they have some water and all of that, and then they won't go far if they have everything they need right there. Yeah, so Linda just asked, do you recommend ordering ladybugs? I mean, I would definitely recommend trying to attract them in first because they're very easy to attract in. But if you are having issues, you can getting them in, or if you have like a huge aphid issue that you need them right now with, you could definitely give it a try. I know like our local nurseries here, a lot of them carry ladybugs as well too. So that might be something to look at too. They usually have them like by the checkout counters is where I've usually seen them. Um, but yes, if you plant anything that ladybugs like, typically that'll draw them in as well.
Yeah, I also
Okay.
like to every time. Oh, sorry. Every
No,
time you
go
talk
ahead.
about aphids, I just love to bring this tip up because I learned this from Dale that ants actually do farm aphids. So if you see ants, a lot of time. I mean, I personally like to see ants. Sometimes people consider ants pests, but I've had an experience where I've actually watched, ants actually control an aphid population and, didn't let it spread from one milkweed plant. So it's definitely possible. And if you don't have an overabundance of aphids, just have it in one area, that might be good, and that might actually also help bring in other beneficial pests. So,
Yeah.
but if you're overrun and you just can't handle it, then ordering, ladybugs might be your only way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do want to say too, like you can also just spray them off with a blast of water from a hose if it's not a super delicate plant, because they're so small and fragile. Like that's not gonna work. They're not going to find their way back up. I mean, now you do have to do this a few times again, over and over, to make sure that you get them all. But that is something that you could go ahead and do as well too. Also, if I'm indoors, I have a neem oil spray up there that I will use if I get like a really big aphid issue and I'm indoors. Obviously, I don't have like ladybugs in the house, so I need to, take matters into my own hands if I get things inside. So I do use neem oil sprays quite often. I've also like if I have aphid issues, I actually had aphids inside on my seedlings in my seed starting area, from like my plants back here that I had brought in from the summer. I was like, oh man, but I would just take them over to the sink and I would turn the sink water on and I would just wash them off. And I just had to do that like every day for a couple days, and it was getting better. But um, yeah, definitely lots of things that you can do there. Yes. Yes, absolutely. You do want to make sure that you release them next to an area that you have aphid issues already, or else just going to go search for aphids somewhere else. So, for sure. Okay. Awesome. Well, I know we did not hit all of the pests, but
I feel like
I
we say
tried to
that
hit.
after every single one of these that we do about pests. We're like,
There's
okay, the
no
next one
way.
we're gonna hit the ones that we didn't hit, and it's like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tried to hit a bunch of new ones, but I was like, there are just so many. There's never going to be a day where we can cover like every single pests. So I tried to cover some new ones that we hadn't necessarily talked about a lot before and all of that. But if you guys have any specific questions, pop them into the chat and we can go over those real quick. I'm going to go ahead and run the giveaway, which is going to be exciting. Okay.
I did want to bring this question up by what's a good plant to try to grow in my office? I really like this question because I try to grow different types of plants in my office. I would definitely recommend, depending on how much light, snake plants are a great choice for that. And also pathos, those are the ones that are kind of vine out and just kind of grow crazy. There's a bunch of different varieties. There's variegated ones. You can find some at almost every single big box store. Those are two that I'd recommend. Also, like little palm trees. Sometimes you can do good if you having if you having a lot of if you feel like you have trouble, you don't have enough light. Just a small, like $10 cheap grow light will be just enough for those kind of lower maintenance houseplants. And then once you get used to it, you can also try kitchen minis. I've definitely grown kitchen mini tomatoes in my office with no light, just with like I said, a cheap $10 grow light from Amazon. So you can definitely do it. Try it. Like I said, it's so much fun to have plants in your little area and get to take care of them. Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
you absolutely do need life if you're going to be working in an office, like 100%. Like anywhere that I am, I try to put as much green as I can, especially in the winter time, because if I'm not going to be like outside often, and especially like outside, it's just not as green in the winter. And yeah, I always need to have life inside of the house. So I know how you feel. Okay.
All right, Desiree had a question. New gardener here. Do you have any ideas for wasp? I have a love-hate relationship with them. They eat the bad bugs, but they also keep the honeybees away. I can't work in the garden after 9:30 a.m. because they take over.
Oh man. Well, this doesn't sound like they are the beneficial wasps then. Usually the like the predatory wasps that you want in your garden aren't going after you. Generally they are just like they're hunting in there for things that they want to eat. They're looking for those tomato hornworms. So they're your helpers. But there are like some aggressive ones that I mean it might be what you're dealing with. I'm not sure. But I have not had this issue. Maybe somebody else can pop up any sort of suggestions that they have. I am always for attracting wasps, so I always just kind of let them be because I always have like the helpful wasps at least in my garden. So hopefully that's what it is.
All right, the good life had a beginner question here. First time gardening this spring. What's something easy to grow in the fall? My family just moved into a rental. We inherited a garden and just want to grow something on my own. So kind of similar to how you and Dale started.
Yeah, that's amazing. So in the fall, you get to grow so many different amazing things. The easiest things that you can grow though are going to be like lettuces. I always recommend like any sort of like things that you want for your salad. So lettuce, carrots, broccoli. Those are all really great ones to grow in the fall. I mean, radish too, if you're a fan of radish, those grow really great and they're super easy. But yeah, any sort of those cool season crops like that, especially like lettuce, is going to be super easy to grow. And it is very rewarding too, because if you can make yourself a salad from your garden, it's incredible. That's like my favorite thing to do. And I always feel so accomplished that I grew it myself. It's amazing. And it's one of the easiest things you can ever grow.
Yep, and definitely download the C2 Spoon Garden app and ask Robot. I mean, literally all of these questions, and I mean, you once you put in your zip code, you pretty much have, a full, a full handbook on how to garden in your area at your fingertips. So definitely do that.
So I think Linda joined in after we had already talked about Japanese beetles, but let me touch on it super quick for you. And I did make a video too. So if you go to our YouTube page, you'll see the full length video of my top 5 favorite companion plants for Japanese beetles. But long story short, try to do some sort of companion plant. If you have like 4 o'clocks or geraniums, those are actually toxic to Japanese beetles. So give those a try. As well as like this fall, lay down some milky spore over the soil where you're having issues. And that will help you solve your problem too for next year. But that will help you a whole bunch. So give that a try. Okay. Oh, yes. This is another really good call out. Garlic is very easy, and that's another thing to grow in the fall. It is absolutely extremely simple because you literally just toss it into the ground and you can forget about it until you harvest it. I mean, really, it's that simple. Okay, let's do the giveaway. Woo!
Drum roll.
I know. Drum roll, everybody. So, this lucky winner will get a 1 year free premium Seed to Spoon app subscription. So, you get to send pictures up to Growbot and to help you with identification of pests, and it'll help you manage those pests and give you tips and tricks. It'll help you if you're having any sort of issues on plants too. You can send any sort of pictures up to Growbot. Super helpful. I know we mentioned free shipping as well too. So if you're wanting to get like BT spray or those yellow sticky traps or milky spore or any of those things, you can get them in the shop. Free shipping on everything. Woo! Exciting. And also Edvin's giving away some cool stuff. You want to say it real quick?
Yeah, we're giving you guys a 3 pack of our 15-gallon planters. I'm gonna give it to you in blue, which you can't see right now. A little sad, but it's be this exact same one that's in this picture right here, except in that color. 15 gallons, so perfect for growing any of the vegetables that we just spoke of. You can also do companion planting in them. It's a great size. I mean, I use it all over my garden. We're also going to get an apron, a smart pot apron, to help you around the garden. So yeah, look, Carrie, who's the lucky winner?
Okay. The winner is Carol Connor. Congratulations,
Congratulations, Carol.
Carol. So send us an email at info@seedtospoon.net and we'll get you all hooked up with all your free goodies. Yay! Very happy for you. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions after the fact, please feel free to pop them into the chat and we can get back with you there too. And we're gonna be yeah, we're gonna be here same time, same place next week doing more fun things. Talking more gardening.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. Okay. Well, we will see you all hopefully next week again. See you all.
Thank
Bye.
you.